Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with another episode of SoundJack's Rambles.
Woo!
And today I am here with two lovely people. First, we have Potter.
Heyo.
And we also have Alyssa.
Hi!
And today we are here to talk about the upcoming Pokemon games, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They will be coming out this coming Friday, the 17th, right?
Yes.
Yes. So we want to make sure we get this talk in and talk about our views of all the news that we know before the games come out, and our whatever our level of excitement is towards these new games. Before we really get into anything, I have not looked at any leaked information about these games. So review copies are out there. People have leaked the whole of the game. None of this will be in this episode. We are only talking about official pre-released information in this.
Yep. Anything that can be found through the official Pokemon website, the Pokemon video or YouTube channel. Also, anything through the Coro magazine, which has official information. Anything that's been released via official means and has not been a cheat or has been found via review copies. That's all the information we'll be talking about.
Yeah, most of our information is to make sure we got it correct is from the Pokemon YouTube channel and from Cerebi.net.
Shoutouts to Cerebi. One of the best
Yes.
Pokemon websites ever. Let's be real.
Really, it is. But we're going to get started, and let's just briefly talk about what Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is. So, I'll talk about that first. So, in very simple terms, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is a sequel to an extent. It is based in the same region as the Pokemon not Ultra. It's just regular Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon.
Yes.
They're same region, 7th generation of Pokemon. The main thing is they are set in an alternate universe.
Yes.
And through information we know, there's different changes and different things, different layout, some different things. We don't know how much is different, but we know there are substantial changes and likely substantial plot changes based on what we know.
Yep.
That's the basic overview of all of it, Alyssa.
So there are also some things that are returning. For example, we know some of the main characters that you encountered on your journey in Sun and Moon, such as Lily and Gladion and Hal, are returning, as well as some trial captains and kahunas are coming back as well. So, essentially it's the Alola region, only with some tweaks and changes, and it's different but the same.
When first this was released, that we learned about this, a lot of people were thinking this was going to be the director's cut of of Pokemon Sun and Moon.
So
That's
an extended, behind the scenes stuff?
Kind of like what it was supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
What should have been in the first place.
Gotcha.
But I think with stuff we've learned about now, we know it is substantially more than that.
You could even say it's more than meets the eye.
We're not in a Transformers video.
Well, we
Alyssa.
are on a Transformers-based
we really are in a Transformers
channel,
video.
so the joke still counts.
joke still very much counts. You got to cater your audience a little.
Thank you.
Fair.
Thank you for backing me up there, Potter.
I got you. That's what I do every day at work, man.
Fair.
Oh man.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let that slide.
Let it slide. Whatever, man.
Okay, whatever. But before we keep talking more about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon,
Yes.
let's first talk about Pokemon Sun and Moon. Potter, would you like to talk about that a bit?
Sure. I think that Sun and Moon was, when we look at it just one in itself, it was a good effort and try and overall good product that deviated from the normal formula that Pokemon has stuck to for so long. And they haven't needed to stick to, but they have, because it was a tried and true formula that they tried to keep going for a long time. And so when Sun and Moon came out, we were expecting, I don't even know what we were expecting after Sun and Moon, really. It was kind of a, okay, good try. There's some things that are missing here. The plot seems a little all over the place with the different bad guys, the Team Skull and Team, what was it?
The Aether Foundation.
The Aether Foundation. It just didn't seem to flow very well. There was some story that really didn't seem investigated. The guy with the blonde hair, what was his name?
Guzma?
Gladion?
Guzma,
Yeah,
the...
Gladion.
No,
Gladion.
Oh, Gladion. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people blonde hair in this game.
See, Guzma wasn't really investigated either. Gladion wasn't as... Type Null wasn't investigated very much. There are all of these things that weren't really gone into that could have been really delved into. And so when you look at it just within itself, it had a lot of potential. It was good, and it had a lot of potential. And then when you look at it from the perspective of it was the first game, and now you have you guys said sequel. I don't think it's a sequel. I think it's an improved version. It's more as akin to, it's not even a director's cut. It's a better version of the game.
So kind of like Pokemon Platinum for that generation?
Yeah.
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 Because I know, you know, when I first got Pokemon Platinum and I played it for the first time, I recognized that they did take a lot of... I felt like they almost, like, read my mind and, like, implemented the things that I didn't like. Like, they added more fire types, which was something that they sorely needed. You know, they had the whole, like, distortion whirl thing, which was really cool. And, you know, I mean, being able to walk...
To be fair, like, a third of the center region is ice. But, you know...
I mean, it made sense why there wasn't that many fire types, but, like... people criticized it,
your
so
only
they
fire
added it,
types are your starter and a legendary Pokemon.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Ponyta.
That's funny.
You could get Ponyta in the original.
Not
Who
in
would
Diamond
get
and Pearl.
Ponyta?
No,
Oh yeah,
Diamond
you can.
Pearl, yeah, you could get.
Yeah.
But the bad
Yeah,
part about
I
it is
forgot
that it
about
doesn't
that.
learn a fire type move until level 16, and like I got a fire, and like it sucks because like you have the grass gym leader beforehand. I mean, this is sort of a tangent, but my point is that it's similar to that. I think.
It's a tangent off a tangent.
Yeah.
But I do
True.
agree with what Potter was saying that like I think it's really great that Sun and Moon like deviated from the norm in the fact that there wasn't any traditional gym challenge structure and it was a different kind of feel. And I think it was really great and I think the incorporation of Lola forms was like awesome from my opinion, mostly because I'm a big science person, so like it makes a lot of sense for an island community to have like different like variations, you know, like Pokemon that have evolved specifically to live in that community. And that was really cool. And I also thought it was a really clever way to like give older Pokemon more relevance while also, you know, I mean, on one hand there's that, but on the other hand maybe it would have been better to have just new Pokemon. But I don't know, I think it was a really cool way to like, I don't know, science. That's basically why I liked it.
It allows you to have both. It allows you to have the new Pokemon while also being able to... the reason why they use Gen 1 is because they, in my opinion, they had all of these changes from what a Gen 1er, how do you pronounce that?
Yeah, Gen 1er.
Gen 1er would say, they're changing from the old system. But it allows them to feel a connection with these new Pokemon.
Yeah.
This is Alolan from Persian Executor, which is arguably original form Executor. Ninetales. What it allows them to connect to these different Pokemon in this new way. And what you were saying about the Alolan forms, in another aspect is that they're called Alolan forms.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that if we have, the next region, whatever that region's called, you can call them blank forms.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be specific to Alola.
Yeah.
You can continue.
Yeah, and
precisely.
And I think I don't know. It's just cool to see Pokemon trying different things. I'm always up for Pokemon trying new things because it's great to see them do something different.
Like having like a dedicated plot in its main game.
Yeah, that was also, they had cutscenes. Like, what? A Pokemon game with dedicated.
Yes.
I mean, they did that in Omega Ruby Apple Sapphire, but this was the first time
with the Delta episode.
Yeah, also in the Delta episode.
Oh, yeah.
But
that's because Emerald was the first game that was really that much of an extremely in-depth storyline.
Yes.
And that was what made it still my favorite game.
Yeah, so I think it was really great to see Pokemon also trying the cinematic cutscene route, which is unusual because I don't think Nintendo has been very well known for story-driven games, for the most part. I mean, like, Fire Emblem, you can argue,
right.
but and Earthbound, but
Legend of Zelda.
I mean, yes, but like I wouldn't say Legend of
Breath
Zelda.
of the Wild's the real first story.
Like I would say that Nintendo's like main like goal is not storytelling through video games, but more entertainment. Like the gameplay is the heart and soul of their games, and then like the story is like just kind of a blanket you throw over it, I guess. As maybe a well-made blanket, but a blanket nonetheless. So, seeing them pay more attention and having Pokemon have a more of a dedicated like plot is interesting. It's a different it's like, it's not something that it's definitely not what Pokemon was originally, and even it wasn't really a core part of it until recently. So.
Which isn't a
bad
thing.
It's a good thing to see. But
yes.
And we're definitely getting more story in this game.
Yep.
Holy crap, are we getting a lot more story in this game.
Rainbow Rocket or something?
Yeah. Let's move on to like what's the new stuff in this game. And before we get into what you mentioned, Potter, of the Rainbow Rocket, let's kind of a little bit in chronological order and start with the first new team group that we're getting in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, the Ultra Recon Squad.
Yeah, so these are the guys.
Alyssa, do you want to talk about
me?
it? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you go talk.
So, I don't have the information in front of me right now, so I'm just doing this from memory, so you can correct me, or someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But as for my understanding, the Ultra Recon team is a new, evil team, maybe not evil team, I don't know. So a new squad of shifty characters who are from from the Ultra Wormhole dimension. They're from the world where Necrozma has taken the world's light. And I think they're supposed to be these people who deal with the Ultra Beasts, and they use Ultra Beasts as their Pokemon, I think. Yes. And as far as I understand it, it's actually a smaller team. Like, there's not as many grunts, and it's more admins and stuff like that. Is that right?
Yeah. From what we know, there are 4 members of the Ultra Recon Squad. Dulce, Zozie, Soliera, and Fico. Dulce and Zozie are mainly found in Ultra Sun, and Soliera and Fico are mainly in Ultra Moon.
And I'm assuming that those guys are probably going to be concerned with the mascot Pokemon of either game. So, it's Ultra Sun.
Well, I mean, the mascot Pokemon is Necrozma. It's just in different forms.
You know what I mean? It'll be either Necrozma or Solgaleo or Necrozma and Lunala.
Yeah.
They're probably still going to play that angle.
That'll be... Don't let him be smart with you, Alyssa.
Try not to. So.
But that is something we do really need to talk about. To bring up the main thing of these games is who the mascot Pokemon of these games are.
So.
And the fact that they are both Necrozma.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, I mean, there might be. I don't. Just as quick refresher, Necrozma is the the Pokemon that was at the end of the Pokedex for this region. It's based off of a Prism, and it only makes an appearance, like a cameo, I guess, in the previous game, where you just, after you caught all the Ultra Beasts, you could catch Necrozma. And it's implied that this Necrozma is also an Ultra Beast, but it sort of is different. But in this game, it seems like Necrozma is going to be taking up a larger role, and might be. I think you talked about this to me when we first found out this information. But there, it seems to be it's taking a more active role in potentially being like an antagonist in the game, because I mean this Pokemon's responsible for taking an entire world's light. So who knows what reason that is. And I mean, it's possible that, the recon squad could be using or maybe the Aether Foundation or whoever is using Necrozma and, like, controlling it to, like, do things that it's not supposed to be doing. Or what I think might be interesting is having Necrozma as an antagonist who's, for whatever reason, doing shifty things and is trying to do whatever. Maybe it needs light to live. I don't know. I mean, what's also interesting, too, is that the Solgaleo and Nulala are both representative of the sun and the moon, respectively, which are both light bodies, or bodies of light. I mean, the sun more literally, the moon is just reflected, but you get the point. They're both celestial objects that are a light source for their respective time periods. So that also relates to why so maybe Necrozma's trying to get a light source or something, and so Lunala and Solgaleo, representative of that, chow time or whatever.
Yes.
But that's just a theory. We don't actually know much about what.
But what we do know is that during the plot of the game, Necrozma will overtake Solgaleo and Lunala in the respective games and become either Duskmane Necrozma or Dawn Wings Necrozma.
Yeah, so it's sort of like Kyurem from Black 2, White 2, kind of, where they fused together and became,
Yes.
Which is interesting. I think it's also interesting that, like, Solgaleo takes on Dusk and Lunala takes on Dawn. That's
because it's the end of their respective
they're also technically the
cycles.
same light period, only opposite sides of the day. But so that's interesting. I'll confess I haven't touched Black 2 White 2 in a while, so I don't remember exactly what happens. I think if I remember correctly, Kyurem is controlled by Ghetsis in that game. And then it fuses. And
he uses a technological device called the DNA splicer
combine them.
To fuse the two Pokemon.
I'm hoping that they'll do something a little different this time with this same gimmick. Like like I said, I think I'd be more interested in a Pokemon that acts as a direct antagonist and without outside human influences. What will it do? Like, why would a Pokemon be driven to, be driven to do bad things?
That's the real question, but that's what we know is going to happen at the very least in this game, to some extent. The reason why I want to make sure we brought this up, because it is a question of what the Ultra Recon Squad is doing in this game. Because, like you were saying, they could be controlling Necrozma.
Yes, they could be.
They could be trying to combat Necrozma from preventing him from stealing the light of another world. they could be working with Necrozma to try to bring light back to the other worlds and take our light in place of it. We don't know exactly.
Yeah, but I think
That's
it's
We
an
just
interesting new aspect to the game.
Yeah. The main things we know is that their home world is called the Ultra Necropolis, and that we will have to travel there to ultimately fight the Necrozma.
Yep, through the Ultra Wormhole.
And
Ooh.
and not like prominently stated, but like briefly seen a couple of trailers, that the Ultra Recon Squad seems to be working with the Aether Foundation.
Oh wait, so they're working with the Aether Foundation?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not catch that, so that's interesting news too.
The main thing, it might have also been from some Japanese trailers, but the main thing I remember from the English trailer is that 2 of the Ultra Recon Squad took the place, in the cutscene in the beginning of Sun and Moon with Lily running around with Nebby.
Yeah.
And Aether Paradise people cut her off from her escape route.
Yes, I remember that.
They are replaced with 2 of the Ultra Recon Squad.
Yes.
And there is a trailer, I'm pretty sure it's a Japanese trailer, where Lusamine is in the Aether Paradise. Mm-hmm. And behind her are 2 of the Ultra Recon Squad.
Okay, cool. So essentially, I mean, this also might mean that the Aether Foundation has a more, positive role in the series instead of a negative one. Like maybe in this universe they're actually, good, trying to actually rehabilitate Pokemon and not anything shifty.
Yeah, that's another thing. And I think this was also Japanese trailers.
Okay.
But there have been images showing you, Lily, Guzma, and Lusamine like at the altar of the sun and the altar of the moon.
Oh, interesting.
Which is surprising because Lusamine and Guzma and Sun and Moon would have been in Ultra Space at that point.
Yes, yeah, if we were looking at the original games. So yeah, that maybe Team Skull or at least Guzma and the Aether Foundation are working with us for some reason.
Yeah, that's going to get very interesting.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of changes with the current bad guys. But I think we should move on to talking about.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of the new bad guys.
Yep.
Let's move on to the Rainbow Rocket.
Rainbow Rocket!
Would you like to talk about what we know of Team Rainbow Rocket?
Well, Team Rainbow Rocket, for starters, Team Rocket hasn't been solidly in a game since what?
Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Yeah. So this reintroduction of this team is another part of what I was talking about earlier. Is even though it is a lot different, it's bringing back a older generation of players to be able to want to come in and see what's up.
Yeah.
Now this is kind of I forget the term. I think there's a literary term. This is kind of the thing that if you're let's say you're a TV show, right?
Yeah.
And you've been going on for like 8 seasons.
Yes.
Or you can have the character that left season 2 show up, and it be a big deal. But if you're just someone who's had a show for 3 seasons, you can't do that. It's not that big of a deal. This is them pulling out everything that they've built since the first game. The fact that you have every villain coming into this game, even in a minor way, in the main plot, not in some cheap ass way of like a Champions League or something, like in the main plot. It's insanity, and it's definitely a giant ass gimmick, but I think they're going to play it extremely well. So Rainbow Rocket, long story short, takes all of the victors from these different universes, all the ones where you failed Basically, in terms of like you, the player, this is you failed every universe, and this is the people who beat you every universe.
Yeah.
And it's all coming together in the Rainbow Rocket. Now, what encourages them to all come together, I don't know. Why not just stay in your separate universe and not be under the control of Giovanni and just be in charge of your own worlds? I don't know. So it's going to be really interesting to see what encourages them to come out.
Yeah, I think the real thing that's like messing me up is just thinking about the ramifications of their success. Like in Ruby and Sapphire, I mean, like,
I'm thinking it's a different universe for Archie and a different universe for Max.
Yeah, but in each of those scenarios, you've got total environmental annihilation on a planet. And then in Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, you have the creation of a new universe and the utter destruction of the current universe. Like, also, Lysander killed a whole bunch of people. Let's not brush over that, because he had to unleash that doomsday device. And yeah, like, I mean,
Getsis just...
He just, like, hijacked
Ultimate
Pokemon
PETA?
and made him his...
Oh wait, he wanted everyone to get rid of their Pokemon so he could be the ruler of the Pokemon world because no one could stop him.
Yes.
That's
Which, I mean, still frightening. I would probably say Team Rocket's probably the weakest one out of all of them in that scenario. But
that's the thing. Even more so, like, why are they coming all out?
Right, because, like, Team Rocket's a punk group that's just like, oh, stealing Pokemon. Like, their motives aren't nearly as far-reaching.
I mean...
See, here's the thing. If Team Rocket had succeeded, if, you know, they didn't go blasting off again every single time, how much could they accomplish?
I mean, yeah, no,
and I'm scared because what you were just saying is, what if they succeed in every universe?
Yeah.
Total environmental annihilation, total societal annihilation, total annihilation of annihilations. It's
yeah.
and yet they all want to follow Team Rocket. So what did they succeed in?
That's true. That's true. I mean, like, how can you beat ripping apart an entire universe or destroying life as we know it? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, maybe it's because Giovanni has a sweet suit and is a gangster, like that. You know, he has that Godfather charm to him, I guess.
Well, another option is the fact that he's got a frickin' Mewtwo on his team.
That's true.
Because...
So? They have frickin' Arceus.
Fair.
The team...
Fair.
Team Galactic.
Team Galactic would not have Arceus. They would only just have Dialga, Palkia, or Giratina. Actually, they should only have Dialga and Palkia.
Well,
not if they succeeded. If they succeeded, they'd have Giratina too.
True.
Well, yeah,
True. I mean, Giratina only got involved in Platinum because it was like, Cyrus will achieve my victory, and Giratina was like, nope, I'm putting a stop to this. So that is a question of what...
Giratina is the unsung freaking hero in both the games and the show.
Yeah.
He's the hero
he's
the hero we needed, but not the hero we deserved.
Yeah. But regardless, I mean, I don't know exactly, but Giovanni has succeeded in capturing Mewtwo in whatever universe he came from.
Yeah, he did.
And that's substantial because he can
he
also Mega Evolve it.
Yeah, so he didn't just to be clear, Mewtwo was, you know, grown, raised, and quote unquote captured in the first game, in the first, you know, in the movies, in everything. But this is captured in the sense of Mewtwo was a willing partner of Giovanni, because in order to Mega Evolve, you need to have that partnership.
Yes,
that's an interesting aspect. Yeah. So this is really this is a partnership of Mewtwo and Giovanni. So I'm very interested. I don't know how much they're going to go into, but they got my hopes up real high right now. Yeah.
And how much they're going to go into.
But it is true that what you were saying with Cyrus, that Giovanni is not the only one with legendary Pokemon on their team. From our understanding, every one of these villain bosses will have their game's respective legendary Pokemon on their team.
Oh, good.
So that means we'll probably have to
Groudon,
fight
Kyogre.
Primal Groudon and Primal
Oh,
Kyogre.
good.
But actually,
Not necessarily. Primal
that's
form,
true.
because their art they had the artwork from Gen 3, right?
Yeah, their models. That is a very good point. While Archie and Maxie do have new updated models for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, which they already have access to, both of their designs for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are based on the original Ruby and Sapphire designs, which is very interesting.
So yeah, that
And-
might mean that they don't have the primal forms. They might just have the OG forms.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the in one universe there's the primal the blue orb is the primal orb, or the blue and red orbs are the primal
Yes.
orbs, but in the other universe they're not the primal orbs.
No, they're just
Yeah.
orbs that awaken them
Well,
from
he
their
def-
slumber or whatever.
Yeah.
I think the main canonicity about how that works is that it's AZ's fault from X and Y. There were two separate timelines where one he activated the super mega weapon death thing, and the other one which he didn't. The one he did was responsible for creating Mega Evolution and Mega Evolution stones.
Okay.
So it might be the fact that those stones
Yeah.
can do the same thing, but since there's not the Mega Evolution energy rating about, they can't
Okay.
Do the thing.
or
makes
something.
Okay.
Well, actually, no,
Well,
that
because
doesn't make
it's-
sense because that would probably happen before, so I don't
Well-
understand. But there are two separate universes, and there is a universe where he did and he didn't, and then the Mega Evolution is in the one he did and the one he didn't, and I guess Primal Evolution just coincidentally happened in the one where he did.
Yeah, primal, isn't it? Primal reversion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Primal Reversion.
Yeah, it has a similar esque of ness to Mega Evolution.
I think it was the
And
point of it
I
was that
think-
like
I think that would make sense.
I'm sorry, you can go.
No,
I think the point was that Mega Evolution or Primal Reversion. I think the difference was that the Pokemon could do it without a trainer, like involved.
Yes.
And that was like the difference between like a
Oh.
Mega, because a Mega Evolution requires
That's
a
true.
partnership with the player or a Pokemon trainer, whereas Primal Reversion
Primal
doesn't
Reversion
necessar-
just occurs
doesn't
when they enter the
necessarily
battle.
require that, because you fight Primal Groudon or Primal Kyogre without a trainer commanding them initially. So
Well, it's going to be interesting to see who they choose and why.
yeah.
And in that case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But to keep talking about Rainbow Rocket and other members, we know Guzma's not involved with them
Okay.
because we have seen trailers where he is actively helping you out.
Yay, partner Guzma! Oh, I'm so excited. I've always wanted to have
I think that
punk
this is,
rockin' bro on my side.
Yeah.
You again, what I was saying earlier is you had a situation where you had a lot of opportunities for plot and development and they just weren't used.
Yeah.
And so I feel like now that they can go back and really use them and look into them, you know, oh, this was the area where Guzma went bad, but this is where he was good.
Yeah.
And you have enough of him being bad and you have enough of what was in Sun and Moon to be able to compare it to what's in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which I think it was the point. Is because if they just released Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon without Sun and Moon, it wouldn't have the effect
Right.
that it currently is having. And that's because, you know, yes, we know that Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl and Black and White, they're different universes in X and Y. But this is really like they were specific that this was very different universe, and since it's 12 hours difference within each other's storyline or
Yeah.
something, and they're really building on that by saying that this is Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon would not be as great as it will be if it wasn't for Sun and Moon for it to be compared
Right.
to.
Mm-hmm.
This is storyline, this is Pokemon, this is character development. And part of the character development is how the creators have developed it from the previous
Mhm.
game. So not like linearly, but in the sense of you as someone who's outside the universes can say, okay, this is how much it differs.
Yeah.
You know, one of those alternate reality episodes on TV.
Yeah, I think the alternate reality gimmick relies a lot on contrast. So here we have contrast.
Yes.
But
And it's very good contrast.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to say about?
And not just contrast between games, like, you know, again, Ruby Sapphire, like, it's the contrast between, not sister games.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the next game.
Right.
Yes. Before, I feel like we're moving on to a different topic, but I do need to make a couple more points with Rainbow Rocket before we move on. Mm-hmm. Not seen in any like in-game footage, but there has been a promotional poster that's shown GABA of the Aether Foundation is involved with Team Rainbow Rocket.
GABA, is that the?
He's the green-eyed glass. He's the green glasses guy.
That guy's the most shifty, so that makes the most sense.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course he'd be involved with Rainbow Rocket.
I don't think this was officially confirmed. I think this was technically part of a leaks, but I think what happens is that we have to go after Lusamine because they kidnap her.
Kidnap Lusamine?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. It makes a bit more sense because they don't specifically like say it in the trailers, but they do show that Team Rainbow Rocket does take over the Festival Plaza.
Yes.
And the Aether Paradise.
Yes.
They've rebranded and restructured it to be Team Rainbow Rocket's headquarters in this universe. Because they are coming from an alternate universe.
So they're not from the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon universe. They're from a different...
None of them are from the same
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
Universe.
That's probably part of the...
Because, again, it's not, like, confirmed, but we see a portal appearing over the Aether Paradise, and then it leads into the cutscenes of, like, coming to the Rainbow Rocket Aether Paradise base.
So that's interesting. It definitely looks like Rainbow Rocket is the OG, or the big bad as well, and that maybe Aether Foundation Team Skull have, like, fallen to the wayside in that regard. So...
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I think this is post-game. I think Potter was a little wrong when he said before. I think this is a post-game.
Okay.
When did I say it wasn't a post-game?
You didn't say it was in the post-game. You're saying like this was part of the main story.
Well, I mean, I think he was talking more about how the alternate universe aspect of the games relies on the fact that there were two games to begin with. Like, you can't have a good... Like, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon only can exist from a plot perspective when you have Sun and Moon as its foundation. So, like, Sun and Moon is more like a foundation for Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Because then the comparisons work out better. I think that's what Potter was more saying. Anyway.
I was specific. No, he made a comment very early when he was talking about Rainbow Rocket, where he was... Yeah, well, my point was, I think you said something that might have been a misleading comment just in terms of your phrasing, so I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, no, I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alyssa, you good?
Sorry. Yeah, you just were like, Skype was like breaking up a little bit. That's all.
Going in and out a little.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to check on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good with Team Rainbow Rocket. So let's talk about another big aspect. The biggest change that has happened in a Pokemon game yet. The addition of brand new Pokemon.
Woo!
I mean, the biggest change within a generation.
Yeah, typically they don't add new Pokemon within a generation. Like, typically all the new Pokemon are added in the first installment, and then the second installment is just more
new
stuff
forms.
That they don't like. Maybe the only things they might add is like additional Pokemon from other generations, but not brand new Pokemon. So this is interesting.
It is very interesting. It's going to confuse the heck out of the Pokedex listings.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time of recording, we know of 3 completely brand new Pokemon.
Yes.
And they're all Ultra Beasts. So we haven't got like brand new Pokemon from within a region. They are still coming from alternate dimensions.
Yep.
But these 3 Pokemon are UB Assembly, which is exclusive to Pokemon Moon. UB Burst, exclusive to Pokemon Sun. And UB Adhesive. And those are the 3 we know of. And
so
probably
can I ask the question, out of those 3, which are you guys most excited for? Out of those 3 Pokemon. Adhesive. Why is that?
It's the thing that's what, rock, steel?
No, that's Assembly.
No, I know. The adhesive is poison, but I'm saying the thing that is rock, steel
is UB Assembly. Sorry.
Yes, but he.
Oh! I get what you're saying. I'm sorry. I thought you were confused about.
No.
Which one was which?
Rather, I'm saying that it. You don't have any. I'm trying to. When you think of a pure poison type, they're really. I can't even think of one off the top of my head right now.
Wheezing.
Arbok.
Grimer.
All Gen 1 pokes.
Survivor.
And Survivor is Gen 3. No one uses them, but Survivor is Gen 3. And
R.I.P. Survivor.
Never really lived in the first place, but there you go.
Oh, Jesus. Damn.
Savage.
I think that the
Potter is taking no prisoners.
A new element, especially when we realize what its moveset and stats are, which, I mean, hey, I can look up real quick, but unless that's spoilers.
Don't. Yeah, that's
Okay.
spoilers since that's not officially revealed stuff.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, but so
I know they
I will say
exist, and I don't want to know them.
Is pretty cute, so that's cool.
Yeah, well, its ability, of course, is Beast Boost, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that we're going to fight it in the main story. Like, early on in the main story.
Oh yeah, doesn't it like?
oh,
Isn't it
so many spoilers.
Look away!
Why did you
Stop.
look?
Look away,
That doesn't even make any sense.
Potter. Look away.
Anyway.
Don't do it. Oh my god.
Anyway, what we were talking about is this is connected to the Ultra Recon Squad. You will encounter them like relatively early on in your story progression, and you will end up fighting them, and you will end up fighting their UB Adhesive.
Can I say something that's I'm just gonna say it. For Pokemon Go fans, you can dress in a Alolan attire.
I saw that today. Yeah.
That's
you can
exciting.
Now dress in a attire if you're in Pokemon. If you still play Pokemon Go, which I almost religiously do.
I play it occasionally just because I don't live in a place that has a lot of Pokestops. Like, the only reliable place I can go is where I work. But anyway, for me, I think I'm most looking forward
back
to
to
UV Burst. What?
Hold on. I was still talking on Adhesive. Just because of where you fight it. Because you have to fight it in the possession of the Ultra Recon Squad during the game. And from the trailer images, it suggests you actually have to fight it around the ranch on the second island.
Okay. Yeah, that is pretty early on.
Which, if it's still going to have 570 base stat total, well, that's going to be a fun fight.
Yeah, right? Here's this legend,
like, what,
super-powered legendary. Whoa. Oops, sorry, everyone.
Especially since psychic and ground types are not that common early in game.
Well, actually, by that point, you can catch a Mudbray. You could have caught a Mudbray.
That is the only thing in my mind that you could do.
Yeah.
You could really catch.
Yeah. But, well, I think Bonsly is available pretty early on. It's in,
that's a rock type.
Oh, true. Never mind. But yeah, that will be an interesting boss fight. I wonder if it'll actually be winnable.
Yeah. My question also is, we've had this default of the Ultra Beast being 570 base stat totals. Is this going to be an example of an Ultra Beast that does not necessarily have a 570 base stat total?
I mean, Ultra Beasts, as far as we know, are, alternate versions of Pokemon, so not all Ultra Beasts, it might not, like, an Ultra Beast might not have to fall into, like, the legendary category. Like, there might be a average Ultra Beast that's not as powerful. That's potentially possible too. We don't know. Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see.
Again, I'm sure Potter and any of us can look it up online, but no.
I'm not.
We can figure out when the games come out Friday.
But as I was saying
to answer your question of which is your favorite.
What?
Alyssa?
Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
What were you going to say?
So I am really looking forward to UV Burst. That's like the one that I'm gunning for. I think its design super interesting, and I also think its typing super interesting. Mostly because why?
Yes, why is that a fire ghost?
Like why?
And
I'm just... Because, like, it seems to be based off of, like, it reminds me a lot of a carnival, which, I mean, the only thing that I can think of that, like, has, like, ghosts is, like, abandoned theme parks and, like,
Pennywise.
Pennywise, yeah. Could it be a reference to it? I mean, like, outside of, but for real, though,
people
like,
have theorized
outside of...
that on YouTube, yes.
The thing is, though, is that Stephen King is a pretty popular author, so, I mean, even if the movie hadn't come out recently, I think it still would have been a legitimate possibility because it's one of his most popular novels.
It is.
Although, I don't know if Disney wants to be associated with a book that has a scene where a character has sex with everyone, so.
Disney?
No, the book. There's a book. Nintendo. I'm sorry.
There we go.
I'm mixing up my family friendly entertainment
your
venues.
ultra mega corporations.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I'm really interested in UB Burst, and I'm happy he's in Sun because I was gonna get Sun like before this was announced, so it was kind of funny how like the one that I was most interested in was released in the game that I'm gunning for. So. Yeah.
Now, you see, for me, I was really excited for it until they released this typing. Because one of the best things about Sun and Moon to me was the fight with Neoligo.
Yeah.
Because you knew it existed, but you didn't know what its typing was.
Nope.
I was so confused in that battle, and I loved it. I didn't know what this Pokemon was. I didn't know what type it was. I didn't know what attacks it had in its arsenal. It was a fun battle. And I thought... And seeing UB Burst, I thought it was going to have the same thing. Like, it's a rock poison type. Well, I mean, Neoligo was... rock poison type. The moves I saw it use were poison and psychic, and I had a crab brawler that used water attacks on, and it did super effective damage. And I was like, "What? What is this? What is this madness?" And I thought I was going to get the same experience with UB Burst because no one knew fully of its type one. We were guessing fairy something, but we weren't sure of that. And I would have been exciting to go into that battle to see. But no, we got it spoiled for us. To a lesser extent, the same would have happened for UB Assembly. Because it's more obvious what its typing is.
Right, because it's, a bastion kind of looking, castle looking thing. And, typically those guys have similar typing.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that... I think that's all for the new Pokemon.
Well,
right?
I never said what I won was actually my favorite. Of the
Oh,
Ultra
sorry.
Beasts. And so, because UB Burst has been spoiled for me, and UB Assembly is cool but not too cool, I'm going with UB Adhesive because it is pretty darn cute.
It is cute. It's a cute thing that could probably kill you. Ours was the best.
Yep, like Drifloon.
Yeah. Funny how those.
I thought that was only Drift.
No, Drifloon took the kids to the underworld.
Yep.
Or I just took them really high up in the air and then dropped them.
No.
I mean, either way,
No,
that's the
Drifloon
kids,
took them
right?
to hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got to move on.
We do.
So now let's move on to a lesser extent, new forms in this game,
I'm trying
which
to
is
remember.
not a lot.
Yeah, so the big one is Dusk Lycanroc, right?
Yeah, Dusk form Lycanroc.
Which is, so basically the deal with this guy is that he is essentially an alternate version of midday Lycanroc, only with like extra spikes on the back. And
it's supposed to kind of be a fusion of midday and midnight.
It kind of lends more to
focused
the
on the
midday.
midday.
Yeah. But anyway, basically it's this Pokemon is being released as a as like the sort of release day exclusive. So you have to, it's like going to be distributed online. So it's an event Pokemon. So you get a special special Rockruff, and you have to evolve it during the dusk time, right?
Yeah, which is like 1 hour a day.
Yeah, and then once you do that, you have to you evolve it, and then it also gets access to a Z move, a signature Z move. Can you remind me what its name is?
Splintered Storm Shards? Yeah, Splintered Storm Shards.
Yeah, so basically this Z move is cool because it also has the added benefit of breaking the terrain effects, right?
Yes.
So if there's a terrain effect such as misty terrain or electric terrain or grassy terrain, it'll break it. And I think it's tied to Accelerock, right?
No, Stone Edge.
Stone Edge, excuse me. So it's tied to Stone Edge.
Because all three forms of Lycanroc are able to use it, and Midnight Lycanroc does not have access to Accelerock.
Ah, true. Okay. So I guess that means that this Z move also works with those other forms as well.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So even if you don't like Dusk, so if you don't happen to not like Dusk form Lycanroc, but you want to use the Z move, you can do it with those two Pokemon. Or the alternate.
We can actually just move on to the Z move discussion now, because the only other form was a new Hat Pikachu and then the two Necrozma forms.
Mimikyu.
Yes. Oh my God.
But I do want to bring up one quick thing before we move properly on to the Z moves.
Sure. Yeah.
We have heard nothing about new Alola forms
That
in this game,
is
and
true.
this makes me sad.
Yes, we have not heard about any potential new Alola forms. So, I mean, there could be new ones. There could not be. But as of right now, we have no idea. Yeah, I hope there is. But on the other hand, like, I don't know if I'll be too disappointed if we don't see any new Alola forms. I'm looking into definitely using at least one in my playthrough, because I did not use an Alola form in the previous game when I played through it. So I want to do that in my next playthrough. And if there's a new Alola form in this game, I might use that one. We'll see.
I'm just disappointed if there aren't any, because that was such a cool aspect.
Yeah, it is a
The
cool
games.
aspect of the game. And especially if they're adding new Pokemon from different generations that weren't in the previous game into this one. It seems like a ripe time to add another Alola form to it. But, I mean, who knows? Maybe they're waiting for you to discover that in the game.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like it with how much they've told us so far.
Yeah. Who knows?
I think they would have at least mentioned at least
like
one of the
just
new
mention,
Alola
hey,
forms.
new
Yeah.
surprises await, or something like that. Okay, yeah.
Gives a hint to it coming, but even if it's not, even if they do have them, it's clearly not the focus of what they want to do. So it's probably not something they actually did.
Yeah. So now let's talk about Z moves.
Yes. Okay.
Do the
Potter,
dance.
get you in the conversation. How's about you tell us what new Z moves we know of so far?
That's probably a better question for you and Alyssa. I know that what is the special dance that what's the scale dragon guy?
Komo.
Is that in the first? Is that just in Sun and Moon that Z move is?
No.
A thing,
No.
or is that Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon?
It was at Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Yeah, and then we have Alyssa's favorite Mimikyu under the covers hug.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Quick story. Quick tangential story. So
That's what she calls it, by the way.
yeah, so
That was her. Yeah, I got
so
it. Sorry.
so the Z move's called Let's Cuddle or Let's Snuggle.
Let's
snuggle together. And basically
let's snuggle forever.
Oh, Let's Snuggle Forever, which is even a better name. It involves Mimikyu like looking at the trainer being all like, I love you, and then it like goes to the Pokemon. Like there's 1 second where it's like reaching its hands out and then like the eyes underneath the like pillow like gleam, and then it just like swallows the Pokemon and suffocates it, I guess. And like the
after getting a thumbs up approval from the
yeah,
trainer.
exactly. Like, yes, give this Pokemon a very slow, painful death. And then it like tosses
and then
it into the.
And
then after does it like chucks it into the air or whatever, and then the Mimikyu's like yeah, and I used the Mimikyu in the last game, and when I typically play new Pokemon games, I like to only use Pokemon from the generation that it's hosted in, just because I like to try out the new Pokemon and see what sticks. And I told myself I wouldn't use any Pokemon that I did in the previous game. So I was like, all right, I'm not using Mimikyu because I used it last game. But now that it has this Z move, I'm like, all right, I can't. I have to adorably and also creepily suffocate my enemies now. Like, how can I not, right?
Yeah.
So,
but going back to what Potter was talking about with Komo, it's got a new C move called Clangorous Soul Blaze that is based off of clanging scales. Yep. And it hits both opponents in a battle.
That's nice.
And raises every single one of Komo's stats by 1 stage.
Oh, dang. That's pretty good.
Yeah. That shows you how bad Komo needs in order to get actual good, to be actually good.
Yeah, fairy types pretty much make that Pokemon kind of, well, let's
cry on the inside and the outside.
I feel
because
bad
it's
too
dying
because
for pain.
like Como has a really cool design and like his name is really nice. So I feel bad that it doesn't really get much use in competitive play because of its typing. So maybe this Z move will give it more staying power. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully. But besides those and Splintered Storm Shards, we do have new signature Z moves for Solgaleo and Lunala, as well as the Necrozma possessed forms of those two. Solgaleo's is Searing Sunray Smash, and Lunala's is Menacing Moonrays Maelstrom.
Those are all real awesome names.
And they are both yeah, and those are based off their signature moves. Sunsteel Strike and Moongeist Beam, respectively.
Yes. So that's nice. I mean, I don't know how badly Solgaleo and Lunala needed a ultra-powered move that's specific to them, but I mean, it makes sense. They are the they are the mascot legendaries, so gives it more stuff.
Yeah. And
are there any zoo moves that we didn't mention yet?
Those are the only ones as we know so far.
So that's cool.
Though I will bring up another thing. The 2 new Pokemon regular moves.
I don't think I knew about this.
Well, one of them is UZB Burst signature, and it's called Mind Blown. It's a fire type attack that does massive damage to the opponent and takes half of the user's health.
Oh my god. Oh wait, that's UV
literally-
burst. Yes, we did see that. Yes. I remember seeing that. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. And Necrozma also gets a new signature move. It's called Photon Geyser. And the attack compares the user's attack and special attack stats and then uses the highest stat to calculate damage.
That's fair. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like...
It's predominantly...
like download if it was an attack, kind of?
Yeah.
Sort of?
Yes.
With some changes and fudging? Okay.
Yes.
Let's
keep going on to a couple more minor things before we get to a couple of more bigger things we want to talk about, and we do want to try to start wrapping this up in a bit. Another minor thing to talk about is totem stickers.
Is it the new sticker element that's... Yeah, I think I heard about this.
Yeah, the new collectible in the game.
Sorry, I'm like... There are some details that have
It's all good.
gone over my head a little bit. I got so distracted by
the main thing
Z
about
move for Mimikyu. I was like, this is all that I wanted. After that, like, what else matters? Nothing.
Yeah. The main thing, I just want to bring it up because it allows you to get totem-sized Pokemon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's
you get to deal with the...
You get to battle with them. Though it doesn't say if you actually get any... They are actually stronger than regular Pokemon or not. They're just totem-sized, as far as we know. Which is nothing major, but something to bring up. We got a new Poké Ride feature.
Oh yeah, the Mantine surfing thing. I was wondering how long it would take them to add surfing into a Hawaii-themed game, and what do you know? It took them another game.
Well, we had Lapras Surf.
But that was just surfing, like with waves and stuff. Michael, come on, you know what I'm talking about. Don't be like that.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
But
yeah, but I meant
yes.
When you think of surfing, this is what you think.
Yeah. The Mantine Surf is very interesting because it performs two functions in the game. Well, three functions. Yes. One, it allows you to physically travel between the two islands, between the different islands.
Yes.
Granted, you're on a rail basically, but you can surf your way over to the different islands. Mm-hmm. Second, it's a mini game, and you can score points by doing cool air tricks and whatnot.
Yeah.
And third, and this is a minor thing that most people might have missed, this is going to be the method you use to get battle points to get move tutor moves.
Yeah, so that's the big reason why you should use this.
Yes.
Because I think otherwise it probably wouldn't be used all that much. But yeah, because when I first heard about the new mode, I was like, well, they've got to have some sort of incentive to make people play it, because otherwise people will just fly to their destination. Yeah. So now we know that this new mini game is how we're gonna get move tutor moves, which is gonna be a big thing for me. There are some Pokemon that I really want to see what they do with move tutor moves for.
Yes.
Looking at you, Mudsdale.
Healing of anything.
Yes,
anything.
Please give me. Anyway. Please #give Mudsdale a healing move 2K17. Please, Nintendo. It needs it so badly.
I also think the Mantine Surf has a scoreboard so you can compare your score to other gamers.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's such...
Yeah.
Okay.
But talking about battling things, I think a feature Potter would be very excited to talk about. Potter?
Potter? Hello?
Hi, Potter?
Potter?
You fell asleep.
Hi!
Oh, hey.
Hello, welcome back.
Welcome back to...
It's, good morning.
We were going to talk about the battle agency as I wanted to.
Oh, yes, mine. I get this.
Yeah, that's why I woke you up.
So the number one thing about ORAS that just pissed everyone off so badly was you got to the end, and not only was there no battle frontier, but there was a little sign or something that with a model, right?
Yes.
Of the building. It was just like giant middle fingers everywhere, man. It was just, and then there was some BS excuse for our developers. It's just like the reason why is because, we didn't want to overwhelm the gamers. It's just like, are you kidding me? Like what poor excuse can you give them that you just didn't want to fit it into the game? But here we have one of the most popular ones, the Battle Factory, brought back in a different way. I think that what was being discussed is if everyone remembers Battle Factory, it's where you went up and they gave you the choice of 6 Pokemon and you got to bring 3 of those Pokemon into battle. Here you have the choice of 6, correct me if I'm wrong, Little, then you go against someone, you see their team of 3, and then you send 1 in?
Yes. It's you choose 3, they have 3, you throw 1 in.
And that's, 1 at a time?
I'm not positive.
Or if it's 3 versus, is it 3v3 or is it a preview 3v3 and then an actual battle 1v1?
I think it's an actual battle 1v1.
I don't like that as much. I like the whole 3v3.
Yeah.
Thing we did here.
It's not the Cerebi doesn't specify because it's not clear, but it like the trailer mentioned like one-on-one battles, and it looked like they were only using 1 Pokemon each total. That's great. But you still had a choice from 3. So.
Got you.
But we'll figure out more in the game.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you can win prizes from this, like gold bottle caps and stuff. But I'm curious if we're going to get battle points from this as well. Or whatever currency we use to get move tutor stuff.
Did we have battle points in Sun and Moon? We did, didn't we?
Yeah, it was, I think it was through the battle tree.
Yes. So
yeah,
there's probably going to be some battle points. Actually, Would Mantine Surf give you battle points, or would it give a different currency, and that's the only currency you can use for move tutor moves?
I don't remember, but regardless, Mantine Surf is definitely going to be one of the major ways to get battle points.
Yes.
I mean, if there's anything, it could. I mean, they might not have a different currency, but it could also be like something like instead of waiting until the end game to get battle points, you could do it during the main campaign and collect battle points that way, and then have a whole bunch to use later on, which is interesting. Sort of instead of grinding a bunch in the post game, you sort of grind throughout the course of the rest of the game, which is
a nice idea.
Helpful.
Do very much
if that's how it works. If not, then
yeah.
Then shrug.
Yeah. And I think, there's the Alola Photo Club. I don't think we need to discuss that.
Yeah, so basically, I'll just mention that if you were a big fan of the photo thing from the Blast game, this is going to be an extension to that. So I'm assuming we're still going to have the Rotom Pokedex and be taking photos at different photo points.
Oh yeah, speaking of Rotom Pokedex, there's the Rotom Pokedex upgrade.
Oh.
You can get the bond powers from Gen 6. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yes, from Mr. Bonding.
Yes, you can get those.
I remember that.
Yeah, you can get those.
Oh, I remember Mr. Bonding.
Yeah, you can get
all of his brothers that bonded you together in their familiar natures.
Yeah.
That
was
Let's
weird.
bond together in this hotel bedroom, and the screen goes dark, and suddenly your speed increases, or your attack increases, your catching power increases.
But that you do that through the Roto Lotto.
Your count from the STD you just received increases.
Then maybe that's why they changed it to the Roto Lotto, so this scenario didn't happen.
So you have sex with a Rotom instead?
No, you just gamble your life away.
Oh, okay.
But also,
Alyssa, you didn't appreciate that Rotom comment nearly as much as I thought you would.
Oh, well, I mean, no, I'm sorry. I appreciate it.
This is the tired part of my brain when I start saying things I shouldn't. Like the fact that Rotom could possess any electric object.
Oh my god.
Stop. Just stop.
No.
I apologize to all the listeners. I'm
No.
sorry for his
Okay,
behavior.
look, we don't need to go
We're
into
gonna move on.
the
We're
18 plus
just gonna stop
category
acknowledging it,
Pokemon.
and we're gonna move on.
Potter,
And-
go home.
But
Even though you're already home, go home.
yeah, I was gonna say he's already at his home.
I'm gonna go to bed. Is what I'm gonna go do.
Hold on, I think we're almost done.
Oh my gosh.
Just
Okay.
sorry, but we're almost there. Though there's one more Rotom Dex upgrade that I do want to make a note that exists.
Mm-hmm.
You can use 2 Z moves in one battle.
Wait, seriously?
Yes. I don't know how, but if your connection with Rotom is strong enough, he'll allow you to use another Z move in the same battle. I'm presuming this is an in-game only thing, like
Probably, yeah. They wouldn't allow that for,
Pokemon,
like-
the Pokemon friendship thing.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be something they would allow for competitive play because that's a little too OP.
Yeah.
But Jesus.
Yeah.
2 Z moves.
Yeah.
Holy
But-
crap.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think the last thing that is brand new with this that we haven't really touched upon is the whole aspect of what we can do in Ultra Space.
Oh yeah, the fact that you can like ride through the wormholes, and then this time around, instead of when catching the Ultra Beasts post game and after in the world, you can go using through the wormhole and ride on Solgaleo or Lunala and go
Playing
to
a mini game along the way.
Yeah, and then you go into a special wormhole that leads to a like dimension that the certain Ultra Beast inhabits, and that's where you catch them, which is interesting.
Yeah,
And
you can just see they're like native worlds, and that's very nice.
Yeah, it adds a new dimension. to you like my puns? Don't lie to yourself.
I know. I know.
Yeah, so they add that. It adds that level to the lore of the Ultra Beasts. So that's cool, and a lot of the lands look pretty interesting. I think the Celestiala's one is pretty cool, as well as who's am I thinking of? Pheromosa's? Pheromosa's is also interesting.
The
But yeah.
crystal place, yeah. Yes, you can get all the Ultra Beasts in their homes, but you can also use the Ultra Wormholes to catch every single legendary Pokemon from previous games.
Yeah, so
not
it's-
mythical Pokemon, but legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, so basically it's going to operate in the similar capacity to the Hoopa rings from Gen 6.
From Omega Ruby Alpha something.
Yeah, so it's basically going to be like that, only through the wormholes, which is cool. I'm glad that they're making those Pokemon available again.
Yes.
So that's great.
Yeah. I think we've touched on everything. Alyssa and Potter, can you think of something that we might have not talked about?
I don't think so. I think that we've talked about most things that we need to talk about. But if there's anything that I want to talk about, I wanted to know what you guys were looking most forward to with all this information.
The music.
Yeah, music.
Yes.
So like the
that's
new
gonna be
music
nice.
in the game. That's always gonna be fun. I think
But I
Pokemon.
think they're gonna be able to compare it.
Yeah,
And it's gonna be really cool.
I agree. Yeah, Pokemon.
You say that? Sorry.
No, you can go. You go. You do your
You say that, I'm like, what's the Rainbow Rocket theme going to sound like in the game?
That's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna be like a sort of revamp of the Team Rocket theme and stuff like that.
Well, and also the Ultra Megacropolis.
Oh,
The home of the
Yeah. Yeah. I think Pokemon has always really had good music. So I'm looking forward to another strong soundtrack. And seeing what they do with the new game, and how much of the soundtrack they change, how much of it do they stay the same, do they tweak it, do they not,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For you, Alyssa?
So I'm most looking forward to I think that the comparisons between Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon in the regular games are going to be interesting to me. I'm super excited to be using different Pokemon than I did in the other game. And then like being able to use move tutor moves with them was going to be great. I'm also really looking forward to seeing how Rainbow Rocket's going to be implemented. Like, I mean, even if that's just a post-game thing, like, that's still super cool, like, beating all the other villains, you know? Yeah, and then I'm also looking forward to that Z move, oh my god, with Mimikyu. Hell yeah.
Let's snuggle forever.
I'm so using that all the time. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So those are my highlights. What about you, SoundJack?
For me, it's definitely the new story and lore bits. You know me, I'm
yes.
a lore and bit
You're
fanatic.
all into the, like, nitty-gritty details and stuff.
Yeah. And it was such an exciting exotic world. It's really good to see what you can get. And we're getting this a lot. It seems like we're going to get a lot in this game. It's going to be very interesting, and I can't wait.
Yeah, it's really interesting how Pokemon is shifting focus from, like, or at least, like, putting more focus on the actual, like background and story aspects of the game. So.
And how they're able to tie in old players by those different story aspects being from Generation 1, Generation even 2 in some respects.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
Hold on. One more question. We're pretty much done, but I want to ask. I got to figure out exactly how to phrase it, but how good at this point? How good do you think Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon's going to be? How much do you think you're going to like it?
7.9 out of 10. Too much reality.
Boo! Boo!
Meme struck again. Well, I don't know. For me, I feel like it's hard for me to. I hesitate to put to really rate that. Like, I don't know. I don't want to put too much hype onto something that much. I like to approach it with an open. I don't think I'll hate it. Like, I don't know if I've ever come across a Pokemon game that I like despised. Like, there might have been some Pokemon games I wasn't like entirely psyched about, or I thought were like okay. I don't know if I've ever said to a Pokemon game like, this is awful and a disgrace to everything that Pokemon stands for or whatever. But I on the other hand, I think I'll like it pretty well. I'm gonna put it. I'll at least like it. I think I'll like it at least. I don't know if I'll be like, oh my god, this is the best game ever, from what I've seen so far, because a lot of the things that I've seen so far are interesting, but they're not like totally game changing or like totally like, oh, what, like there are aspects that I'm looking forward to, and I think those aspects won't let me down. But as far as the whole game as a package, I don't know. I think that's kind of hard to judge at this point.
Actually, let me rephrase my question.
Okay.
How excited are you for this game now, less than a week out from the game's launch?
Okay.
As opposed to when we first heard about it.
I think I'm more excited now than I am when it was first announced. When it was first announced, I was like, I'll probably play it, but I don't know if I'm like super hyped for it, especially since there aren't going to be any like super new Pokemon or any like new adjustments. It's just like a retool and a nice fine tuning of the game. That's what I was expecting. But I think I'm more excited now because it sounds like they're going to do some new things. And I'm always into new things. So I'm definitely more excited. I don't know if I'm like super, 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 super excited or crazy excited about it, but I am excited about it. I'm like a level from here to here. I'm like, oh wait, I'm making hand motions and like the people at home
using visuals
can't see that. So like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I think my excitement level is like around a 5.5. Like I'm like okay, yeah, I'm in. Like, a 10 would be like, oh my god, I can't sleep, oh my god, and a 1 would be like, I'm bored. So,
Yeah.
I think a solid 5, maybe 5.5 is where I'm at with excitement right now. What about
Potter, how about you? Potter, how about you? From...
I gotta find my DS first before I'm excited about me.
Yeah, that's you have lost your DS.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
I think I know where it is. It's okay.
Okay.
Well,
But especially now compared to where we originally started out with this hype train, I'm tentative to use that word from how unenthused the fandom seemed to be when we first heard about these games. Because it didn't seem like excitement. And then we got some cool news, and now everyone's like really, fairly into it.
yeah.
People are still not, there are people that don't want to get it because it's still a quote-unquote sequel.
Yeah, and I think a lot of Pokemon fans probably would prefer like a whole new generation or a whole new experience as opposed to like a slightly new experience, which, yeah, that complaint I can
Which we're
see.
probably getting next year on the Switch.
Yeah, that's the one thing we haven't mentioned, that we forgot to mention. This is the last 3DS title for the Pokemon franchise, which means it's probably moving to the
Yes.
Switch, which means I'm going to have to get one.
Yes.
Dang it. Not that I didn't want to get one,
Yes.
but now I have no excuse. Now I gotta. Now it's
Precisely.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah. But yeah, as for that question to me, I'm pretty excited. I'm quite excited. I can't wait to play through all this story and lore and see what's all going on and try out a new team of Pokemon
Yeah.
in this fun region. I do think this is one of the best regions.
Yeah, I think it definitely
In my
it's
opinion.
definitely more it's definitely more unique, or I feel like it has more roots in its own like culture as compared to other regions that sort of had like a veneer of a culture like maybe over it. And I think part of that was probably because most of them were based in Japan, which I mean, like, to a Japanese audience, you don't really need to do all that much to like entrench them in the culture. You just kind of this is where I live, so therefore I know what's going on. But I think that the Pokemon team did a really good job of trying to make this island feel like its own place and its own. It gives this idea of like this region that is a region. It has its own identity that's different from all the other regions that we've seen so far, which is really cool. And I'd like to see Pokemon continue that trend and continue to have its regions feel distinct and have its own identity that's separate from the other ones. And I think that's a good thing going forward. So yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, so I think that's all we gotta say. Pokemon Ultra Sun, Pokemon Ultra Moon come out November 17th in the US at the very least. And I've got my Ultra Moon pre-ordered, and I cannot wait to get it.
I haven't pre-ordered it yet. I haven't pre-ordered it yet.
You're gonna run out of time.
I know. I don't have any excuse, but I haven't gotten around to it, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's Pokemon. I'm excited. I hope if you're listening to this, you're excited too. And leave your views in the comments. Leave your thoughts about these games in the comments. Leave what you're most excited for in the comments. Please, no spoilers if you had a pre-order copy or looked at any of the leaks.
Yes, don't be that guy.
Keep those clean.
Please respect people's wishes to investigate this game, blind / with only the information that Pokemon has made available.
Yes.
But yeah, totally tell us what you think in the comments.
Yeah. Yes, please. And I hope you enjoy these games. I hope we all enjoy these games together. But I also do hope that you, as the audience, will enjoy these games. And I hope you enjoyed listening to us talk about these upcoming games. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All of the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack and Alyssa and Potter signing off.